Hey guys, Apav here, and sorry for kind of looking like a mess. I just woke up and combed my hair because I haven't been able to stop thinking about making this video. So the PlayStation 5 Pro came out, and I have a lot of thoughts on it, but mainly just Pro consoles in general. It made sense the prior generation because 4K was coming out, and the original PlayStation 4 couldn't do 4K, so they were like, in my interpretation, like, let's come out with a new console that can do 4K for the people who have 4K TVs. That's kind of where I was getting that from. And it did become useful near the end of the console generation because there were games that were really pushing the limit. So if you had a Pro, it would run slightly better. But I didn't think this was going to become a recurring theme within the game market that we'll just have a Pro console halfway through the lifetime of a console because kind of the whole point of a console since the very inception of consoles was like you make it so that developers kind of know what they're building for and then they can push the boundaries of that. And that's kind of how we've gotten the greatest games on these systems. Um, Developers know what they're working for, and then they can, within those limitations, they end up making something really great. Whereas if you have two different systems with two different capabilities, but you have to sell it as a game for that system, even though there's a pro model system, it makes it really difficult to know what you're actually getting. You cannot advertise a game for PlayStation 5 and use footage from PlayStation 5 Pro because it's a little bit misleading to claim like all PlayStation 5s can do this. So I have a problem with just Pro models in general, especially when like most people don't have anything above a 4K monitor. But also, it is a downgrade. PlayStation is trying to go the way of digital, so it doesn't have a disk drive or any kind of external media drive built into the system. And I think you can get an external one, which I doubt many people are going to do, considering the console is also $700, which is, I think, as expensive as the most expensive PlayStation 3 model, which, when it came out, which pretty much everyone universally hated that price point. So it's weird they would go back to that. But also, the lack of a disk drive is super important to me. I will never buy a home console that does not support some form of physical media, because at that point, to me, it is just a PC with an extremely limited access to games because you can only go through the console store unless you hack it, and then you can get banned from PlayStation Network. So I don't know why you would pay $700 for what is essentially a PC that encourages these monopolized digital storefronts. I've seen some people say that, well, it's going to go the way of digital anyways, which I think is a very dangerous mindset, because if you keep giving money to companies that are making decisions that you don't actually like, but you're just going along with it because you're a cynic, nothing's ever going to be good because you're rewarding things that you don't actually like. I haven't bought in a Call of Duty in years because I don't like that they require a online connection in order to access the campaign. So that's how long I've been in this. But simply not spending $700 on a console that nobody needs, I think, is a reasonable decision to make. Now, I'm not hating on anyone that does wind up getting it. I mean, not everyone shares my opinions, and not everyone requires the disk drive, and not everyone has slow internet like I do. But I think just for encouraging video game preservation and just the keeping the industry producing somewhat good games, it's a good idea to keep physical alive as long as possible, or at least try to remove as many copyright protections as possible that they put into video games. I doubt companies are going to go for that latter option more than the former option. But so long as a company can essentially toggle on and off our access to a video game, I cannot see that producing better video games. So anyways, those were my initial reactions to this next generation of Pro consoles coming out. It seems like most people agree. I looked in the comment section of some of these announcement videos, and it's not positive, and the likes on the video do not seem as high as they should be for a video with this many views, which makes me assume the dislikes are probably really high. So hopefully this pushback will keep physical media going for a little bit. And I know Nintendo said their next console is going to support physical games, so I'm looking forward to that. But I have been a PlayStation fanboy my whole life, and this is the first time they've released a console where I feel like under no circumstances would I buy it. So that's kind of a big deal to me. And maybe this is the point where I'll just be stuck in what is now considered retro gaming. But I do look forward to whatever the sequel to the Switch is going to be called. And hopefully Sony coming out with a disc drive in their later consoles. And also maybe bringing that price down, because once again, if the price stays up, there's no point in buying a console over a PC once the consoles just essentially become restrictive PCs. So I would like to see PlayStation kind of go back to its roots of just a video game console. Because I also think that benefits just the industry in whole. Because as I said at the beginning of this video, when you have these developers working for a specific system, it usually creates such amazing games. And if we kind of push everyone to PC, I worry we won't get as many games like that. And it'll kind of go the way of the mobile gaming market, where you have to climb through a lot of trash to find a good game, and especially a game with the high production value of some of these console games. But anyways, those are my thoughts and opinions. Yours may differ, but I just wanted to get that off my chest before I forgot what I was talking about. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.